Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your host, Joel Kulina.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel. I'm here by myself because Joel and Dennis are, I don't know, in the bathroom or something, or like taking Perry out for a walk, or I don't know. I don't know. I was just talking to them, and now they're here, and now they're not. But there he is. All right. Dennis Dick, good morning. Welcome. I wasn't sure you were up this morning.
What happened to Joel? He left?
You left me too. You guys both leave, and you
because we're in the other room, and then you send us to this room, and then we get lost on the way.
Yeah, I know.
This isn't our fault.
I know.
Not my fault.
It's a tough journey here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
What are you whining about? What's he whining about?
Because we got lost on the way over to this room. We were in the other room 3 minutes ago, the test room. Backstage, and then we come and we get lost coming over to this room, and we're late again, Joel.
No, oh really? Oh well, excuse me.
You're excused.
Anyway.
Who used to say that?
So you're going back to the 50s again.
Oh come on!
Is that like is that what's his name from the Honeymooners?
No, it's not Jackie Gleason.
No, that's a good game,
excuse. Right? Oh come on, man! I'm gonna quit.
Rodney Dangerfield.
No, I'm gonna.
You did it
quit.
too. Wasn't Rodney Dangerfield?
No.
Come on.
I don't have the
chat
up.
That was a good guess.
Gosh, you guys are horrible. One of the greatest.
Get it, Mitch in the background.
No,
Mitch.
He's too young. No way.
Well, I'm too young too. I'm like 30 years.
Come on, he's one of the greatest comedians of all time.
I said Jackie Gleason. He said
Rodney Dangerfield is one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Steve Martin.
Yes.
Martin. All right.
Yes.
Lord Jam, and Chris.
What was Steve Martin would say? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember about Steve Martin is that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when he dropped the 21 F words at the at the lady.
Now that's a great movie.
That was a good
John
one.
Candy. Isn't that one right? Oh my God, that's a great movie.
But
we're not Siskel and Ebert here. We're Triple D and Spoos.
We could be. Maybe we should start doing that. We'd have a bigger audience.
Movie rating. You know what?
All the AMC people would come follow us.
They would like us
doing movie rating.
Oh my gosh.
That was a genius idea.
Oh my gosh.
That was a genius idea. We're going to change the show. We're just doing movie ratings, so all you AMC apes can come follow us here now, and we'll just talk movies.
Maybe we should.
This guy.
Maybe we do a segment.
Movie reviews.
One day a week. Anyway, for the moment though, let's just talk markets. And what I was saying to Joel this morning is, it's a quiet morning when the biggest headline is that Warren Buffett gave away half his money. Because it really is quiet out there. There's not a lot of headlines. I mean, there's some headlines.
What did he give away? I know the Gates Foundation. What did he give away?
In 2006, he pledged to give away half of his Berkshire Hathaway shares. He's now he's halfway to that, or he pledged to give them all away. He is now giving away half. So he's halfway to his goal of giving away all his money. That's
a good guy right there.
Yeah. Anyway, there are some headlines today. We'll talk crypto. We definitely want to talk growth because we've been mentioning it, I feel like, every day for the past couple of weeks. But growth has come back here a little bit. We talked about
a little bit, pretty much all the bit.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but we've been talking about Docusign. We've been talking about ARK, ARKK. We've been talking about Roku. We're going to hit on that whole theme today because growth is seems like it's back in favor for the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Our guest today is a great guy, Joel Kulina. He is the head of technology and media trading at Wedbush Securities. He's probably one of the most informed, ears to the ground guys that I know. This guy seems to know everything about it.
We like people that know everything.
Yeah, he'll be on the show at 8:35. In the meantime, though, drop us a like. And Joel, tell us exactly what's going on this morning in the overall market. Because I said it's quiet. It is disturbingly quiet.
Yeah, you'll get mad at me if I go on one more comedian tangent.
Just
no.
Do it now.
Do it quick.
Just get it over with.
20 seconds.
You know who is
Go.
absolutely brilliant? And if you think about it, remember George Carlin?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he did a skit. This must have been in the 70s. And he said, it was, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm sending away. Okay. He basically created Amazon. He talked about just like being at home. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? What are you doing? I'm sending away, and then all these things. So he created Amazon. He was like only 30, 40 years, but now I'm really dating myself. Spoo's Unch, let's just call it Unch. We went up to 48.25. That took out the high from yesterday, and then we came back down, little dip. So not getting real bullish until we take out that pre-market high and then take out 58.25. That's the all-time high. On the downside, I think even if you take out that pre-market low, I don't know. I think we'll just kind of trickle down. Obviously, haven't seen anything to give a big down day. Crude up on inventory numbers being low, up 41 cents. New high for the move. Trading right at yesterday's high, so I can't call it a double top by any stretch of the imagination. Gold trying to rally up 580 at 1783.80. Silver not back over 26 yet. It's up 11 cents at 25.97. Bitcoin, undercut and rally, folks. Take out the low, clear out the stops, and then come back up. So maybe migrating towards 40K.
I want to stop there too.
Stop.
Okay, stop at Bitcoin, because I tweeted this last night. I completely agree with Gil Morales. We're going to credit Gil Morales with it. I called it the cut through and rally last night. Gil Morales quickly corrected me on Twitter. He says, almost got it. It's the undercut and rally. So the undercut and rally. I like cut through and rally too, but undercut and rally sounds a lot better. Cleaner. Thank you, Gil. The strategy does work. And Bitcoin, that head and shoulders pattern. Can you just go back a little bit on the Bitcoin? Look at that head and shoulders.
Right here on a daily?
Yeah, if you go back, it is like the most perfect head and shoulders of all head and shoulders. Like it makes, who makes head and shoulders? Johnson Johnson makes them jealous.
Procter Gamble, I think.
It's Procter Gamble. It makes Procter and Gamble jealous. It is such a perfect head and shoulders. And when you get something so perfect, just so perfect that everybody and their grandmother is talking about it, it usually means it's going to go the other way. Even we were bearish. Every single person that went on CNBC yesterday to talk Bitcoin talked about the head and shoulders, and they all said, we're going to get this thing back at 17,000. When everyone thinks the same thing, it is almost guaranteed to do the opposite. I think you got the undercut and rally. I think Bitcoin can rally back up here. We're still in a range. 40,000 is major resistance, as Joel has drawn on the chart. But I don't think we're going straight to 17,000. And I would not surprise me is if Bitcoin actually staged and built on its little bounce back rally yesterday. So bullish Bitcoin right now is me.
Well, you kind of look at it.
Need a pullback though.
Yeah,
we just rallied 3,000.
This is a little jagged. When you made the all-time high, there was kind of a broken right shoulder when you had to gap down. And then, kind of a funky, but I saw you tweet that out yesterday. And you could almost, you don't have much of a, head and shoulders bottom. You got the, if you want to have just one shoulder on each side, then you could call a head and shoulders bottom too. But just this work through our daily highs.
What textbook do we read head and shoulders bottoms in? Curious, because I'm just.
Why? It's only a head and shoulders top?
That's what I thought. I thought every head and shoulders resolved itself to the downside.
No. I think what you're referring to here is a reverse head and shoulders, Dennis.
No, I'm referring to the clear head and shoulders. A reverse head and shoulders would be turn the chart upside down, and that would be a reverse head and shoulders. I'm clearly looking at the head and shoulders. In every technical analysis book that you look at, that will be a bearish pattern. And that's why every single person on CNBC, full disclosure, somebody says I'm talking my book. They were joking. I am talking my book. I am long Bitcoin a little bit. I sold half of it, but I'm a hodler there. So just, go Bitcoin, Dennis Dick hodler.
You can have a head and shoulders bottom, Dennis. You can have a head and shoulders.
Of course you can, but I'm saying you can have a bottom, you can have a top. To be honest, this is why we're not pattern traders. Because it's all just fugazi. Is that the word? Do I have it right from Wall Street? I think all the patterns are all just, I think it can go either way. But when they're that perfect, they almost always go opposite to the textbook. So I'm just saying, when you hear Head and Shoulders, you typically, what do you think? Do you think when you hear Head and Shoulders, you think, oh, okay, trouble? You
usually do think downside. Usually,
yeah,
that's what I think.
Mitch says I'm wrong. Mitch, come on here. Mitch, you can't just come in
wrong, Dennis.
And say I'm wrong. Come in here, Mitch. Mitch is going to give the bearish case here on Bitcoin, apparently.
No, he's bearish case on you.
Well, the biggest thing
bearish,
is,
that's okay.
I mean, Head and Shoulders is always known to be a bearish pattern. You can have an inverse Head and Shoulders. That's called a bullish pattern.
This is not an inverse Head and Shoulders. This is a clear Head and Shoulders.
I mean, if you look at the 60 minutes, look at the 60 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
on the bottom left chart. That could be
an
inverse Head and Shoulders right there.
You're finding a little inverse Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, on the 60 minutes.
A little mini on the bottom left.
Wait. This is my chart.
There's a Head and Shoulders and an inverse. You just discovered an inverse Head and Shoulders in the short-term chart.
Exactly. That's what happened there. Short-term inverse Head and Shoulders, long-term Head and Shoulders.
So now we don't know what nobody even noticed the inverse Head and Shoulders.
What you get is dandruff.
Look at that.
I know you do.
Jesus. Anyway,
I think you're going to be buying pullbacks in Bitcoin. I'm bullish. Just my opinion. Yes, talking my book. I am long Bitcoin. I do not plan on selling any. Yesterday on the show, I was all scared and wanted to sell it all. Now I'm not selling. Change overnight. Day trader.
That's how
I've been holding Bitcoin here for, when did we buy this? November? When did we buy Bitcoin?
I bought it
when it's 17,000. November, I guess.
I bought it sometime.
A hodler since November 2020.
Yeah, I bought it in the fall.
Are you still in?
I said yesterday I'm never going to sell it.
Me and you, Spencer. If you ever do sell, let me know.
No,
I need to know.
I don't own very much. It's really more of a diversifier for me than anything else. But I don't trade it. So
how much of your portfolio is in Bitcoin?
Oh God, well. I'd rather just say how much is like in crypto because I remember.
Yeah, tell me how much is in crypto.
Got some Dogecoin?
I don't know because it's in a different account, so it's like because it's in the.
Add it up.
No.
Can we?
I don't know. I have a couple of $1,000, not a lot.
Oh, okay, so it's small.
Right? Yeah, it's a very very small position.
Mr. Alconin, do you own any crypto?
I did not. No,
You have never got back down into.
I waited for 20K. I was hoping for 20K yesterday, but
you were going to buy more at 20K. You're going to buy it back.
But now I don't think I'm going to get it. At least in the short term. Trading range.
So now it'll tank because now we all got turned bearish to bullish. So I'm glad I'm not a crypto trader.
Hey, Spencer, you're a producer. You're supposed to keep us on track here. You're not doing a very good job.
Falling apart.
You know why? Because it's so quiet out. There's not a ton to talk about. But take it away, Spencer.
Well, just on the crypto note here, if you want to look at what's moving, all the Bitcoin stocks are predictably trading up this morning. Obviously, right? Marathon, Riot, Can. MicroStrategy, right? Coinbase, they're all going to be trading up with the move in Bitcoin. Although I don't know if I've ever seen, if you look at the Bitcoin futures, at least going back to 9 p.m., they're like disturbingly flat and quiet, which is weird. I don't know if I've seen that before. But
calm before the buying storm,
or
the selling storm,
I don't know.
You know what?
Go.
Yeah. I did this as my pre-market, or I didn't really talk about it on the show, but I did my article yesterday on MicroStrategy, and this one, the reason I was thinking that Bitcoin may undercut. Look how long ago this thing bottomed. I mean, this bottom way ahead, and it topped out ahead too. How did this thing get to 1,300, Dennis? I don't remember, but it had this
everybody
run.
Was just loading up every Bitcoin trade possible, and they just didn't care.
But that's not when big. I mean, the only reason I was slightly looking to buy the dip in that is because I looked at this chart and I'm like, this thing's nowhere near that slow of a move. has shown excellent relative strength. So I don't know if it's gonna, I'd say Bitcoin gets back up to 40K. I mean, this thing could be at 650 right away. So I don't know. They got way overdone when they went to that 1300.
It's a leveraged Bitcoin play.
It
is.
Know that. That's what it is. It's the most leveraged Bitcoin
I think so.
play.
I agree.
Yeah.
MSTR is one of the most. Well, I don't know. Ryan and Mara are pretty, they move pretty
It's
good
just because it's higher price, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. But nice move in that yesterday for sure.
All right. It's not a crypto show. We've been 10 minutes on crypto. We've given our opinions.
Let's talk Microsoft here. Had a good day yesterday. They do have an event today. Today's their Windows event where they're gonna unveil some updates of I guess the latest version of Windows. $2 trillion market cap for a brief moment there yesterday.
It should be a $2 trillion market cap this morning because it's making new all-time highs.
Oh, okay. Then there we go. Yeah, you're
right. How long are they going to give you to switch over, man? I'm just getting used to 10.
I'm still trying to ride 7.
I know.
You know me. It keeps giving me the nasty message every morning. 7 doesn't have any. What do they say? 7 doesn't have any updates anymore. No support for 7. No support for 7.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you were joking. Are you really on 7?
Yeah. No support for 7. I don't like upgrading.
I'm still.
I actually have just one computer. I think it's the one you're on. Actually, the side computer here who's still running 7. My main computer is running 10.
I'm still on Vista. Is that still a thing? No.
Vista was always hated. Vista was the worst operating system ever. I quickly got off Vista as soon as I had a chance and went to 7. Vista was the worst.
Do you remember every so often? This hasn't happened for a while, but one of the three of us wouldn't be able to do the show because we get hit with a random Microsoft update at 7.
Oh, I know. I know the updates. You got to give them a 12-hour window where you're able to update. But some people outside Microsoft work more than 12 hours. Remember, I would complain about that. It was apparently Microsoft. There's on maximum 12 hours on your work computer, so you got to give them a 12-hour window when you can give updates. I'm like, how do I do that? When you work 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. is 16-hour days. Microsoft's lazy over there. I work 12-hour days. We work 16-hour days here at Bright Trading.
Dennis, could you schedule it on Friday at 8 o'clock?
No. I think you had to give it like a window where it can do it. Just randomly hijacks your computer to do updates.
All right, I'm bringing us back to the chart, though. Back to the chart. Microsoft. Somebody enlighten us. Still...
260. Yeah, what's there to say? 266.50. If you want a gap fill, you got to wait for 65.51. That was the close, and what was the high from yesterday? Not too much to say about this one. 2-day move, 65.79. If you're looking for a gap fill on that, all-time closing high. Just be careful it doesn't do one of these tricky patterns. But you know what? That was before earnings, where you had a couple tops in the same area, and there's no earnings. And we basically, if we could clear 58.25, we got blue skies ahead in the S&P. So unless it develops one of these kind of little topping patterns, I mean, I don't know. Just if you want to target, maybe pick your average daily range on this, and that's probably like $2-3, or probably paper at 270 or something crazy like that.
It's unbelievable how much we've come back, and we wanted to move this to growth tech. This has obviously been more classified value tech, and we know value tech led the charge here too. Amazon's near all-time highs. Facebook is right there, butting its head, gonna break out. Look at this Facebook chart, Joel. Let's stop there. 340. Look at this 340. That is button up against majors. This is going to be a classic breakout, looks like.
What about 330 for support? Probably never see that again, huh? Look at all those lows at 330. No sign of institution. No
cup
sign
and handle. It's a pattern day on the show. See the little cup and handle I'm looking at?
Now
look a 1 month handle. Wow, that's a
opposite day. Guys, do the opposite. Everything we say today.
It'll probably tank. Looks like it wants to break out. Let's see what it does at 340. A breakout's not a breakout until it breaks out. A breakout doesn't stay a breakout unless it stays a breakout. There's a lot of words for you. 340 though, big level.
What about Amazon? Is that? I mean, can you imagine if it breaks out of a 11-month base?
It's been trying to just digest that COVID move forever, from the 1800 up to the 3500. Full disclosure, I am still logging my Amazon. It looks like it wants to go. Question is we've run here now $300-400 and we're right at the top of the trading range. I like the Facebook chart better than the Amazon chart.
You know what? Another reason why you really just can't be short Amazon.
Why? Because they sell everything?
Well, they sell everything, but what if they announce a split?
I mean, if they did that, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Bezos. Well, I guess Bezos
is out. He's going to space.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Bezos is going to space. He's going to the moon. Maybe the new CEO is gonna take Amazon to the moon with a split. There wasn't it Gasparino dropping that bomb there about 3 months ago, saying that they might announce a split that never materialized. But I mean, NVIDIA. Look, the performance.
I know.
Proof. What does that say? The proof is in the pudding. Anyways, NVIDIA has run up $200 in split announcement. I mean, these things run on splits.
160.
Pretty much.
And the split's not for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right?
They run in these splits. And people asking about GE. I'm not so sure on the reverse splits if they run into the reverse splits. Reverse splits, for you newbies out there, not as good as splits. Usually reverse splits go down into the reverse split because they're taking shares away. So maybe not surprising, GE. When's the reverse split day for GE? Do we have a date on that one? I'll throw you right under the bus here, Mr. Israel.
Look at that, 1280.
He'll go to his handy Benzinga Pro, which will spit him out a date. I'll tell you, I don't want to own GE ahead of the reverse split.
You don't want to own GE. 1280 made it stand there.
Kramer said buy it. I'm taking the other side.
On the news feed right there. Reverse split set for August 2nd, 1 for 8.
Oh, that's a long time.
We got a long time there.
We got to get did we ever get Inch on, or was I out of town?
Did
we ever get him on?
Yeah, we had him on.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he was saying.
You just sound like you're too excited about that, Spencer.
I'm trying to remember. It was a few months ago.
It was.
Okay. Where was I?
We have trouble remembering yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, I was in Florida. That's right.
Maybe.
You're always on vacation.
Oh, yes, exactly. I am going to be, though. Let's see. 4th of July is in 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We're off that Monday.
We're off that Monday.
You get a day off.
And then
nice.
No, not you, Dennis.
Oh, no, I have to work both.
And then that Friday, I'll be Spencer. I told you that, right?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
Right.
Wait, do they have July 4th in Canada? I didn't know they did.
No, they have Elizabeth Day or something? Victoria Day?
You guys go straight from the 3rd to the 5th?
What's it called, Dennis?
July 4th.
Dennis is mad. Dennis, what do they call the 4th of July in Canada?
Canada Day.
What day is it?
July 1st is Canada Day. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What do they call July 4th in Canada? I don't think they call it anything.
It's July 4th. Right?
July 4th. July 1st is Canada Day. July 4th, the U.S. So
are they going to do the fireworks?
I'm not allowed to take any of the days off because Joel makes me work the American Canadian holiday and he makes me work the Canadian U.S. holiday. So I just don't get holidays.
You got to see the fireworks. Got to see the fireworks across the river.
Are they doing them this year?
I bet you they are.
They canceled it last year, right?
Yeah.
For COVID?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. The Detroit River display. Awesome.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Stocks.
Bringing it back. Why is China trading up today? I'm looking at, Xpeng had news. They're going to list on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So all the China EV names are up. LI, NIO, XPEV. But really all of China is up today as well.
Is it time to buy Alibaba, Joel? We have a level to lean on. Okay. I am long Alibaba. I have the half size position. I sold half at 230 when everybody thought I was an idiot. It's 211, so I can scalp, or 213, I guess, this morning because it's bid up. So I can scalp myself $17 and get my shares back. Do I rebuy my Alibaba here today, the other shares that I sold? Because you know why? I have a level to lean on. I'll lean on that 204 low.
Yep.
213 is $9. I liked it better at 211. Wish I would have looked at this chart yesterday. I'd already be up $2 in it, but I think you could strike. And I don't even think you need to go that low. I would lean maybe on the 208. The 208 22 low from June 16th. This is all what trading is about, is having your out, knowing where you're going to get out before you enter the trade. So if I was entering the trade and it goes bad, a contingency plan. Have a contingency plan. It's how you stay in the game for 22 years. Have a contingency plan. So I would look to 1132. If I get this 212, maybe you pay. I don't know if I want to pay up to 213. But get this 212. Lean on the 208. I think there's room to 225, and I think there could be more room even further than that. So I kind of like the Alibaba setup, risking $4 or $5. Try to make myself 10 or 15.
I like where did I mentioned some news to Spencer that I saw, and we didn't think it was super relevant, but Jack Ma is he's kind of maybe getting back in with the Chinese authorities here.
Huge.
Jack Ma's Ant Group is in talks with Chinese state owned enterprise is to create a credit card company that will put the fintech's giants' proprietary consumer data under regulatory purposes. That kind of is flying under there. That maybe Jack and China, Jack and Chi are making up. That's what you need, right, Dennis? That's what's kept you out of the stock is, the hammer coming down. They already gave them the fine, right? I don't know. I like it.
I like it too. I like the setup here. I like it because I have a defined out. I want to define risk. Joel's the same way. This is how he traded successfully for so many years as well. He's traded successfully for 50 years. Define risk, 100. Man. Is it 100? Have you been trading 100 years? A century.
Yeah, a century of excellence. But anyways, what about the FXI?
Mitch is saying, hell yeah. I think he likes BABA.
I mean, it's there. It's hard to look
John
at.
Doesn't, because John said I'm an idiot. So I'm thinking he doesn't like BABA. But I like BABA.
Could you just send him a nasty message on Twitter instead of putting that in here?
Everyone, be nice.
Just go direct DM me the nasty messages so Joel doesn't have to read the nasty messages.
They upset me.
Idiot's okay.
All the mean stuff.
Be an idiot. Idiot's not bad.
All the mean stuff he say to Dennis hurts my feelings more than it hurts his feelings.
I haven't called worse than an idiot. By the Reddit traders, they've called me
they call you that.
The apes, I think the apes are starting to warm up to me, but I don't know. Maybe
because apes,
so you're starting to like me a little bit more. That I like Dave Lauer and I agree with him, and he actually started talking me into the naked shorting a little bit. Maybe the apes are starting to like me.
Hey, wait! Before we move off China, before I forget, JD.com has their annual shareholder meeting today, so maybe watch JD.
I was long and overnight.
Okay.
For that reason.
Kathy's been loading up on JD. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I sold my JD though already. So scalper. I like the JD chart too. Let's go look EEM.
Oh.
JD doesn't look as good. I kind of like the JD chart. I kind of like the BABA chart. I like both these. I like that idea, Spencer.
That EEM looks okay.
Idea.
I mean, it's just a slow mover. It just but it's been okay. Probably underperformed the U.S. market, but then what hasn't?
Wait, let's go back to growth for a second here because we were on that and then we kind of got sidetracked. But the whole
telling me JD's not growth?
Okay, it's not.
I thought we were still on the growth conversation.
Not the kind of growth I was thinking about.
All right.
I was thinking about like Roku. I was thinking about DocuSign.
Those have went.
I was thinking about Twilio and Shopify and Zoom and all those guys.
Wow.
Square,
all I have to say is wow on all those stocks. They have all blasted off into orbit.
PayPal, Square too. Yeah, all of them.
PayPal and Square haven't went as much. Square especially kind of been consolidating. If Square needs some Bitcoin love, Bitcoin starts getting some love again and gets through that 240. Square could get interesting.
Yeah.
Square is a little bit dependent on Bitcoin. It is seen. It's a little more. Not that it's all Bitcoin, but it is definitely a correlation there with Bitcoin, a little one. So Bitcoin really gets hammered, Square goes down, Bitcoin really rallies. So if Bitcoin goes back 40,000, Square will be taking out this 240. I kind of like the Square setup because I was bullish Bitcoin.
Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, this is getting real interesting here with the 50% on Square here. Right around there. You figure your numbers, actually, my numbers are a tad off, but right there, figure your number, 236, 237, get a couple more days in here and see if it can hold. But that 240 stopped it dead in its tracks on May 8th, and then it just stopped it last Friday too. So big level, 240. Square, haven't looked at PayPal lately. I don't know, where has that been? PYPL. Woo, that's really done the march. That's knocking down the door, all-time highs. You mentioned DocuSign. That earnings report got it going. Gap and go, and you waiting for the gap to be filled? You're still waiting. Yeah, look at
growth
that.
Has just continued to blast off. We called this over a month ago on the Kathy turn when ARKK was $100, and I said I can lean on that low at 97.22, and I was looking at all the growthy names, and I bought a whole pile of them that day back on it was May 19th, and I went long a whole pile of growth names. And what did I do?
And you sold them on May 20th.
I sold them all a week later for like 10-15% gains and patted myself on the back. And now they're all up 30-40%. And I'm obviously was one. You know what else? Fubo I bought at $20. I don't know. Fastly I still have, although I've sold half of my Fastly. So that was one that I held on a little bit better. But I think I bought like 10 or 12 growth names that day, just, swings. And I sold most of them a little bit too soon. I always exit too soon.
How about
good
my
on
Peloton?
The entry, not so great on the exit. That's
How about my Peloton?
Hey, did you hear what Peloton did?
Lisa's Peloton. Because you would have been long out of Peloton, so we're giving Lisa the credit for your Peloton. Yeah, tell us again about the Peloton.
Peloton. Well, yesterday they moved higher on news that they're getting into wearables, but apparently they also got rid of a feature that allowed people to use the treadmill, the Peloton treadmill, just like for free. Just use it. Now you have to pay to use it. If you buy it, you gotta pay the subscription to use it. You basically you can't buy it once and then use it for free. You have to pay their subscription to use everything, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
I tell you, summer months, I'm just, getting on that bike. I don't know. I'd rather go into the pool even though it's freezing.
Well, they went corporate too, though. So they're
that's
corporate,
important.
Which is a smart move. And they were talking about this on CNBC. So they take our content, we'll steal their content too here today. But it was a great point. I think it might have been Guy Domi. It was one of them on Fast Money, is making the point that, and great point to make. We go looking corporate. So as people go back to the office, you start thinking, okay, well, you get these Pelotons all in the office setting. That's a whole nother business model there. So I think that's smart, because if you're just staying, and looking at retail and looking at individuals, obviously you're sitting back and you're going outside, you're doing more. But if you're going back to the office setting, you got your Pelotons in there. It's good.
Hey, Spencer, is the gym reopened?
It's been open, and they renovated the whole thing.
Did they put Pelotons in there?
I don't know.
Did they put a pool in yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
They didn't go that crazy.
They're probably going to have a lot of room because they're going to have less workers. They probably could. You asked Dan if they could put a pool in that building. I'd be there every day. I went to the Y once. Check that out. The water was 87 degrees.
No thanks.
87. That's too warm for me.
Yeah. Okay. What else before we?
Well, you can tell there's nothing going on. We're talking movies. We're talking gyms.
Wait, can we just look at Kramer tweeted this morning? Caution for people in CLOV regarding the Russell rebalance. Or no, he was talking about shorts. Clover shorts.
Why would you be short?
I don't know. Whoever is short these things.
So Kramer, this is a Kramer pop here. Now we have to worry about Kramer pumping stuff on social media.
What do you mean? That's been happening for.
No, but he always just does them on CNBC. But now he's actually coming on. I noticed a lot of Kramer.
He did the same with CCIV. Look at that tweet.
Yeah, it's been on tweets lately, so you can't just watch it. He always talks a stock or two. Kramer, we talk about influential people in the media. Kramer is one of the most. So he comes out and says something bullish about a meme stock. That's going to go out. I haven't seen the tweet. Bring the tweet up.
It's not all the time, but it is. He tweeted, what time was this? It was 8:22, so 10 minutes ago. He tweeted, Clover shorts, I think you need to be worried about the Russell rebalancing. Could be great for Clover, but I'm not really sure.
Look what he tweeted 3 minutes ago. Clover 36% short, big lockup expiration July, but before that you get Russell on Friday, so look out.
Wait a minute.
Cover ahead.
Wait a minute.
Holy.
Wait a minute. Clover was not. They're not on the list of additions.
It may be, they change. It changes.
They change. Yeah,
changes with market cap.
Sometimes week to week they do actually.
It probably was on the list when it was 28. Now it's 13. It might be back off the list. Maybe Kramer will get it put back on the list.
Maybe.
You gotta watch tweets. They move stock, so you could get caught. I mean, obviously shorts are getting caught here this morning. It gave it all back. $28 down to 11, basically filled the gap to the scene of the crime. And now you're getting a little life here again. This is a Kramer pop, though, is what this is. Is this going back to 20 or 30? I don't think so, but could it go to 15 or 16? Oh, it probably was oversold, down to 11. So it could go anywhere. I'm not trading this. No trades for me. No calls for me.
Pubmatic?
Yeah. Yes. Sure, Joel. Close enough. Chamath Palihapitiya, but you were.
I forget a couple syllables in the last name. Filled the gap and then some because you needed to come down to 12. It actually went to 11.16, and now turning up. But the old thing is, wow. If give me back to 15, I'm out. Give me back to 15 and a quarter. A lot of people stuck in this ugly red bar here. If you want to target on the upside, if you can get through that 1547, which you are $1.50 away from, you got a pair of highs 1605, 1628. S&Ps are green. We're green now by 4 points. We just kind of been swinging up and a little above unchanged, a little below unchanged.
Someone just asked about Tesla. It's moving here this morning. No real news. I guess there was
Money Mitch has been bullish for a while.
There's this annual ranking from cars.com of the top US made cars, and Tesla, the Model 3 is number 1 on that list. But it's moving here.
Huge level. Huge. This is it.
Great call by Mitch. $600.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Diamond hands, man. Diamond hands.
Diamond hands. Mitch, we know you don't have diamond hands either.
You know they're paper.
He says paper. Yeah, I'm paper hands too.
I call them what? Green.
The better traders that I know have paper hands because they cut those losses.
No, Dennis, they're better. They're better than paper hands. Paper hands don't make money. Green hands make money.
Green hands. I don't know.
Someone says the Tesla upgrade. Did Tesla get an upgrade somewhere?
I don't know. Let's find out in a second. But
since we don't look at our ratings, are they going to keep the ratings calendar on Benzinga Pro?
Bill Big D says they have a note MS right now. I haven't seen that note yet.
I didn't. It's possible I must have missed it, but Joel just said huge level.
Huge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, anyway,
you can see it there, right there, staring at you straight in the face.
Let's find out from Joel Kulina. Joel knows everything. Joel Kulina is the head of technology and media trading at Wedbush Securities. Joel, I didn't see. Was there a bullish note this morning?
Reiterated overweight Adam Jonas.
Okay. Morning, guys. Thanks for having me back. No, I just checked Bloomberg real quick. It looks like Morgan Stanley had comments out yesterday on Tesla.
Okay.
And as you kind of look at the chart, as you guys were pointing out, this thing just kind of slowly has kind of been grinding higher. And, I think if you're a Tesla bull, this is the kind of price action you actually want to see versus some of the violent, mindless volatility that we've seen over the years with Tesla. I think the price action is pretty bullish. All I see, I think there's a Reuters link or somewhere on Twitter that's kind of putting a negative spin on Volkswagen's efforts in China up to this point. So obviously China is key to the Tesla story. So that could be what kind of fueling that story. I know Ernst & Young put out a very bullish longer-term report on the EV market, but that's going out 12 plus years. But that's all I really see for Tesla.
What are your thoughts here on Tesla? I mean, that we've seen a lot of the growth tech, and we can put Tesla right in that group now with its market cap. We've seen a lot of that come back in mega cap tech. I don't know what you want to put it in, but tech has been coming back. A lot of tech, QQQ is making new all-time highs. Tesla has been a laggard. Is there a catch-up trade here in Tesla?
Potentially. I mean, I think Tesla's such a unique company, and we all know the outperformance that the company saw over the past several years versus especially the other auto OEMs. And I still think you have a better chance of getting a double in a name like Ford, or maybe even maybe not GM right away. But I think I still rather belong to some of the more traditional OEMs that are kind of, have tons of money that they're pumping into their EV initiatives. So I still think competition's a major issue for Tesla. And we do know that, China is going to be pretty determined not to let a U.S. Automaker be the kind of the golden child of the EV kind of EV market, domestically at least. So who knows what kind of steps they may take to kind of pump more funds towards some of the other players in that market. But within you mentioned the growth rebound has just been phenomenal. It's kind of sort of has come out of nowhere. We know we kind of reached max P&L pain about a month ago, where everyone and their mother was pouring in energy and financials. And lo and behold, here we are. Growth in big tech has just stormed back at a time when people are relatively underweight the group versus historical measures. And again, another part of the market in 2021 that's delivering some P&L pain to especially the long short community, as now hedge funds are kind of ramping up their exposure once again and chasing some of the growth stocks that are starting to get away from them.
Do you think you should be chasing these growth stocks, or is this a time where if you've been long some of these names, maybe it's time to start thinking about ringing the register? What are your thoughts here going forward on the tech growth trade?
Yeah, I know it's obviously easier said than done, but I think you still want to be. I think you got to be selective. I mean, 2020 with obviously unprecedented kind of catalysts. Obviously, we plunged in a global pandemic. Every global central bank, led by the Fed, kind of just launched everything in the kitchen sink to kind of provide the necessary stability. And growth worked every day. You could buy the dip, and it was a strategy that never failed. Well, that kind of strategy has been failing for most of 2021. So I think that tells me you got to be selective. You guys mentioned Docusign earlier. That's a company you want to be long. I mean, end of the day, work from home, it's going to be a hybrid, flexible model. And some of their solutions that they continue to roll out and revamp aren't going away, and they're going to be implemented even further. So those are the kind of the stories I'm looking for. Whereas a Zoom Media, I'm a little bit more negative on. The chart actually looks good, but I think if you see Zoom back up with $400, you'll see guys come and fade it. But I think you just want to be very selective in nature. Like I love the e-commerce stocks. You know, we obviously saw consumer behavior change because of COVID. And look at a stock like Etsy. It's had a huge move over the past, several weeks. But they're doing all the right things. Valuations reset. Here's a company they're going to benefit from gross merchandise sales accelerating. Their margin profile continues to improve. So within the kind of growth complex, I'm just looking for stories that are maybe going to be there, hold up a little bit better, and aren't as much of a story stock and a retail edge to them. But they're going to be long-lasting companies that are proven winners.
I got one more for you, Joel. What about Teladoc TODC? Because this is a stock that has not participated in the recent rally. We kind of grouped, as pairs traders at Bright Trade. We kind of had Docusign and Zoom and Teladoc, all of these stay-at-home stocks. But Teladoc has not participated whatsoever. It looks sleepy. It's just been hanging out here for a while. What are your thoughts on Teladoc?
Yeah, I think what you kind of just said, you kind of want to try to find some of these sleepy names. And
sleepy.
And that's actually not, like you guys were talking about the Chinese internets earlier. That's obviously a much different story. But they've been dead money, not just sleepy. But yeah, I think Teladoc, if you believe in the management, now I'd be lying to you. I'd want to go kind of skim the recent conference call to kind of see what some of the sell side analysts were poking at, maybe read a few notes. But we do know that Teladoc is in kind of the way we look at healthcare, especially in the United States, is going to continue to change and evolve towards more of the, online, and Teladoc's clearly at the forefront of that. Who knows what some of the bigger tech guys, what initiatives they roll out, i.e. Amazon. But I think if Teladoc, I'm not that close to the story, but as you said, I'd rather, not a bad chart to take a shot at, and then you can do a little bit of work, maybe put on a small position, do some work, and see if you want to get bigger, either on the way back up when you get the momentum, or if it corrects a little bit, where you want to be put on the right size.
We're on the line with Joel Kulina, head of media and technology at Wedbush Securities. We got to put Wedbush up there, Dennis, right at the top between him and Michael Pachter. I mean, you guys are spot on. Yeah. Also, obviously, a great name. But I see the notes that you put out and all the information. And I just want to know what's on that upper right screen there. That is
Which
like...
one's that?
Right.
Yeah, that's I call that the Beastmaster. So that's that's the Beastmaster, and I think I started creating that when I was in London in 2008, and it just it's every TMT stock which trades in the U.S. essentially.
Every what stock?
Every TMT.
Tech, media, telecom.
Yeah.
Oh, Spencer with the fancy lingo there.
So I'm licensed. You can get it on a license for about $10,000 a year. No,
that's something, man. I'd look at that thing. I'd be like, all that information on there. I just a quick note on the Teladoc. My wife's involved in the medical field, and there's an IPO coming out, and I can't remember the name of the company, and they're offering doctors a chance to compete in the IPO. And I looked at the company just briefly, and it's kind of along the lines of like a Teladoc. So just maybe the competition coming in on that. But just if you're just talking technical here, and you're not talking anything else, and you think you missed a growth stock, I mean, this thing is on the verge of breaking out here. Yeah. So just looking at it from a technical basis.
And it's a theme. It's a theme that's kind of developed because of the pandemic. That's not going to go away. People are clearly, recognize that the use of their time is more important than ever. And you have to think, less time at the doctor's office or just overall patient care is going to continue to improve. And the industry is going to continue to evolve, like you said. It's definitely worth a look.
Right, mega tech, a mega comeback here. Rotation, really out of the banks into this. I mean, is this, Apple's kind of been sleepy for a long time. Microsoft busted out. I mean, 11-month consolidation pattern in Amazon. I mean, Google, that thing's up 45%. That thing just goes up every single day. Facebook. I mean, are these guys just getting primed for like big breakouts here? And Lead
I mean, I think so.
4,300?
I mean, I think so. Alphabet is hands down still my number one pick in the large cap growth complex.
Okay.
Mainly because it's just underperformed on a multi-year basis. They've obviously been slow on the cloud side of things, but they've clearly shifted to growth in their cloud segment. And I think this Q1 of this year was the first time they're providing more visibility and metrics to the buy side and sell side community. And I wouldn't be surprised we see them make a big deal on that front. They obviously benefit from digital advertising, recovering, impressively to say the least. And we still have obviously travel and that kind of segment coming back up, ramping back up as well. So I mean, Google, Alphabet's been making pretty much 52-week highs. I feel like almost every day. Facebook's been a big outperformer on the digital ad component of the business. But then, like you said, Microsoft, Amazon, they really just kind of been dead money going back to the summer, forming really nice long bases. And then now here we are, Amazon, Microsoft at the highs, and they feel like they want to explode. These are the best companies on planet Earth. The valuations are more than reasonable. So if you are concerned of some of the, the valuations out there in certain pockets of the market, these are the best companies on planet Earth, hands down. And I don't think anyone will argue with that. And I think you want to be long them. And I think you want to be buying them when they're going up. And we do know that exposure to big tech was taken down pretty extensively in May and even as early as kind of the first half, early parts of June. So positioning is relatively clean in these stocks as we make highs, and you're going to see fund managers kind of continue to chase these higher.
Joel, I want to get your thoughts on the e-gaming space. I know Unity, I think, is your favorite, but the whole group seems a little weak, especially since E3, whether it's Activision, Take-Two, EA, et cetera, et cetera. Give us your thoughts on that space right now, and then, like I said, I believe Unity is your favorite.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Pachter. I know you've had Michael Pachter on before, and we had all our E3 meetings last week, and it was obviously an impressive lineup of companies. I think the issue overall with the gaming stocks, utter lack of near-term catalyst. E3 was virtually, so there was literally zero hype into the event. There was some really excitement and expectations around what Nintendo would announce, and of course they disappointed. But in terms of the major publishers, no major game releases are expected for the second half. And then kind of coming, you're facing just some serious COVID comps as the world returns to normal. And let's be honest, the market, everyone's really kind of focused on the reopening of the economy, not kind of sitting in front of a computer screen playing video games. And so that's kind of what the issue's weighing on the group in the near term. Just there's a limited upside, expansion for the multiple because of the things I just kind of mentioned. So little excitement around the group. And then also with all the COVID disruptions, that is kind of impacting new game development and releases. So some of the big titles that people were hoping for this year just kind of continue to be pushed out a little bit further. Unity is a little bit of a different company. They had obviously their engine, bigger push in advertising as well. And as again, it falls into that kind of right into the high growth basket of tech. Here's a stock that was trading at 40 times sales not that long ago, got absolutely slaughtered. I think it went from 160 down to 80. And again, it grinded back higher to $100. And now it's kind of popping its head above some pretty big resistance levels. I think you'd want to be buying that name into the kind of into the momentum here. And then Zynga is still my favorite, the gold standard on the mobile front. Live services technology is best in class. More importantly, they're focusing on the advertising side, and that's where they see tremendous opportunity moving forward on the advertising front. So for right now, the major publishers, they're just dull. There's nothing to get too excited about. So that's been what's weighing on those names. So I see Unity and Zynga a little bit more under the hood in terms of e-gaming, which get me a little bit more excited.
Zynga's been quiet.
Really quiet.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Joel Kulina, we could probably keep you on here all day, but that would be a poor use of your time. You have other things to be doing. Joel Kulina is been on our show for the last few minutes. He is the head of technology and media trading at Wedbush Securities.
Fantastic content.
Super knowledgeable.
Appreciate it, guys.
Tech, media, telecom.
If I could throw in one thing here.
Yeah. Just
on Chinese tech, you guys obviously mentioned Alibaba, more well-known name. I think Tencent's worth taking a look at as well. They have an ADR's TCEHY. Tencent's, in my opinion, still probably the best global gaming stock on the planet. That obviously has been crucified because of some of their investment commentary, regulatory crackdown. But I think the key with these Chinese stocks is where we are in the regulatory cycle. And some increasingly guys I talk to that work towards the back half of that cycle. So that's where I think it may make sense to start putting some money slowly to work in some of these big Chinese behemoths that aren't going away. But again, once the regulatory headlines take a back seat, you can see these stocks really gather some momentum.
Do you think, would Tencent ever uplist to an exchange in the U.S.? I mean,
good question. I don't know. I mean, they haven't felt the need to. I don't see what would be the catalyst for them to do it now.
Yeah. Well, it would be good for the share price.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that'd be the catalyst if they were to do that. But that's odd that they aren't listed.
Right. Yeah.
Other than the pig sheet.
All the other big ones are.
Yeah, because they're still big. Anyway, Joel Kulina, always a pleasure. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Guys, smash the like for Joel. The guy is seriously super ears to the ground.
Yeah.
He's got his niche, right? Tech, media, telecom, and he knows all about that area of the market. So super knowledgeable guy. Always great to talk to him. There's a bunch of stocks in chat, and if you dropped them in, I may have missed it. I'm sorry, but we'll try to cover a few in the next 10 minutes or so. Before I forget, though, I want to mention that we've got the CEO of Playboy PLBY on the Power Hour today.
Oh, cool.
At 12. What time is that at? That's at 12:45. No, 12:30. 12:30 Eastern Time on the Power Hour. We got the CEO of PLBY, so check that out. Ben Cohn is his name. Let's do some ticker time here. Drop your tickers in. Somebody put a good one in. MarketAxess, which we have not, I think, ever talked about on this show. It's the trading platform for bonds, right?
Yeah.
MKTX is the ticker. Not one I think we've ever discussed, but I see them all the time because they're really, really big in the fixed income markets. Yeah. Joel, do you have thoughts here on MarketAxess, MKTX? I forget who asked about it.
MKTX. Let's go to it. High price stock. I mean, kind of looks like the bond chart.
Sleepy.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It looks like it could go.
Yeah.
I actually like the company. I mean, we have, and here's your equity markets that are half dark now, but we've been trying to, the markets and capital markets been trying to get more transparency into the bond markets for years. I mean, traded bonds, MKTX is doing a lot of things that I think are the future for bonds. I love the story. The stock has pulled back significantly here. I don't know where it is on a valuation perspective because I haven't sat to look at it from that perspective, but I like the setup here. Actually, I like MKTX.
Yeah, it's had a couple, a couple chances to put in the bottom, and it did. It put in a hard bottom. It's hard because $500 stock here, 480. So like when I'm given levels here, I think 460 kind of gives you a clean breakout out of these three highs here. And then another pair of highs here, 471, and what is that? 470. Let's go, big stock like this, 460, 470. And if you're looking for more, I mean, it hasn't even come close to getting back half of this move. And it looks like you got some lows to lead on. Does it nice bump up? So I agree. Technically, it looks sleepy, ready to go. 460 is what I'd be keeping an eye on today.
It is not cheap. I'm seeing a forward PE of 55. So it is certainly.
Well, that's why I've always shied away from it. It's come in a bit. I would have loved it at 300. Bring that PE, and cut her down by a third. But I mean, the growth is probably there. I mean, this is. They're one of the leaders in where bonds are eventually going. We're going to be able to eventually trade bonds, like we trade stocks. I would hope that that's what they're trying to do. So I love what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish, and they're one of the leaders in it. And so I like the company.
And then Easy Mike is yelling to the chat, Tradeweb, they do the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, TW.
So again, valuation. Different story here with Tradeweb. Because it is at all-time highs. It has been running and running and running. So I don't know if this is going to be best of breed here, maybe because they're giving it a best of breed premium. I mean, the trailing P on this is 89. I don't know where the forward PE is on it, but you're definitely not. You're chasing on this one to a certain extent. But if you like buying the leaders, I mean, this one is obviously making new all-time highs, and it's often a good thing to be long stocks making new all-time highs. At least it wasn't 2020.
This one's also expensive.
Yeah, well, 89 trailing. What is it forward?
55. Same thing.
Yeah,
the same thing.
Yeah,
so,
you're paying up for these, but from a multiple perspective. But they got growth.
Yeah, big range day on the upside, and then it looks like you had a little bit of consolidation. So doesn't look like it's or that big range day on Monday, little consolidation on Tuesday. So I don't, it doesn't have to zoom and make a new all-time high today. What you kind of like to do is just see, maybe hold yesterday's low for a couple days, maybe dip below it, get another 3-4 day consolidation pattern, which you had last week, and then make another run. But the fact that the range really came in yesterday tells me, well, there's still buyers up there pushing it, but the sellers are a little bit more willing to throw some offers on the table.
What about AI? C3.ai. We have not talked. This is growth.
This is obscure stock Wednesday.
No, it's not obscure. This is not. Well,
what are you looking at? AI?
AI. Yeah, not a relatively recent IPO last year, right? Not
sleeping.
Man, same chart. These are great charts. Is Jack these charts?
Yeah.
All these stocks, if you think the bull's continuing, these are all sleepy in consolidation. So I love striking on stocks that are in consolidation like this, because you know where your out is. You can take this and you can say, okay, I'm going to stop myself out of 56, the recent low of the move. But it's looking perky. It's looking like it wants to go. It's a stock that's way oversold, and now it's stopped going down, so you're not catching the falling knife. I like this chart too. I know nothing about this company from a fundamental basis. Other than I believe it's an AI, but I know nothing about it. So
they advertise on CNBC all the time.
I know. Obviously, if I'm watching CNBC, I'm not listening to the advertisements.
All right.
Except for that E-Trade kit. I like that E-Trade commercial.
I don't think that's been on for a while, Dennis.
I know. That's why I'm. The with the theme there from, was it Rocky?
I don't know.
You're the best. Oh no, the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going back to the Karate Kid now?
Yeah, we love the Karate Kid.
No, let's not go back to the conversation.
Movie shows.
What about, I know there's a bunch that I missed in chat. You can cover those with Joel after the fact, or we'll cover them later. Butterfly Networks, BFLY.
Huh.
It's another sleepy one?
Yeah.
This is a Kathy. This is a Kathy stock.
So is AI. They're both Kathy stocks.
Kathy stock. Yeah, you know what? You can do it. You gotta again, risk management, right? 13.20. That'd be my stop out. So you're risking $1. You're buying at 14.20 today. You're risking $1, 13.20, saying that this growth rally continues. I mean, if the growth names start to roll over, all this stuff's going to roll over with it. But maybe there's a catch-up trade. I guess the theme of the show today was the catch-up trade. We're looking at the ones that haven't gone yet. And we had a list, so Teladoc was on it today. Joel liked it as well, our guest. And then we had MKTX we thought was a little bit sleepy. Alibaba we liked. JD we liked. And I don't mind this butterfly chart either. But again, you got to stop yourself out of the lows. So whenever you're putting on a trade, know where your out is. Know your discipline. This is what swing trading is all about. It's not allowing that long-term or that trade to become a long-term investment because you're stuck. Get out. Cut your losers.
Yeah, consolidate. You like the bump up, the consolidation. They can't take it back down. I mean, you could even lean on. There's a pair of lows at
lots to lean on.
13.20. Yep, 13.20, 13.24.
You lose your buck.
Yep. Just reload after that. What else?
PUBM. There's the chats all over it. Pratam. Awesome. Like that one. The same thing.
What symbol?
PUBM. This was a Mitch pick too back in the day, Pubmatic, and it's come down a long ways here now. So, I don't mind the chart here either. Nice candle yesterday. A little follow through here this morning. A little run a little far yesterday because I think you got to go all the way down to 31 to stop yourself out, and it's 36. So that's like a 15% stop. It's a little bit too wide for me, so I probably let this one go. But I don't mind. I think there's room to 40 on it. But I think it left the station yesterday. If we were talking yesterday,
given on the podcast this morning, PubM, TTD, MG&I. We'll see if they get moving.
TTD is one that's one you like too, and MG&I.
They're all the same. They're all same industry, same kind of taking advantage of that. Leader is TTD. MG&I is kind of more of that growth volatile name, and then PubM to me is more of that IPO long term. I could see it long term really doing successful.
I like the MG&I chart too, 28.95. Again, stop yourself out. Maybe you get kickstarted here. The stocks have been, not participating in the recent rally. So if you believe in the catch-up trade, and it's kind of tough. Sometimes the catch-up trade's tough. Sometimes they're weak for a reason, and then they are the leaders on the downside when we start to roll over. But this has been a market where breakouts haven't worked as well as some of these catch-up trades have worked in 2020 was the year of the breakout. 2021's, the catch-up trade has worked. We know, like on Fubo and stuff, back at $20 where it was oversold and then it starts to get kickstarted, that those trades have worked. So I don't mind any of these charts.
All right. Good luck out there. Go get them, guys. I'm going to pick up all these tickers that we missed on premarketprep.com. We'll see you at 3:30.
A few people are asking about the Russell rebalance. It's Friday. We've talked about that. Dennis, I don't know if you're trading around that today at all.
I'm not ahead. Again, like I said, some people like to be long the ads ahead of it and short the deletes, and that has mixed results in the last 6 years. Yeah. Early 2000s, that seemed to work all the time, just being long a whole portfolio of ads, short a whole portfolio of deletes. Yes, evil shorts again. But hedged out that way, and there was always the tendency where the ads would drift up into the rebalance and the deletes would drift down into the rebalance, and then sometimes the reverses on rebalance day. The way I trade it, again, I'll just say it again, is I fade the Friday moves. So if you see big gap ups because they're going in and big gap downs because they're going out, or even the opposite, sometimes you see the ads come down, then I'm usually shorting the ones that are gapping up and buying the ones that are gapping down, and just providing liquidity into those trades, hoping for a reversal either overnight or obviously on the Monday morning. So that's the way I've played it the last few years successfully, but having that portfolio ahead of time hasn't resulted in the results that I would like. So that's why I've laid off that. Maybe this is the year that's, certain years maybe it does work, but I've laid off that strategy because I've had mixed results.
All right. Thanks a lot for the thoughts, Dennis.
All right.
All right. See ya. Guys, I want to show you guys something in Benzinga Pro. So yesterday we had a pretty big exclusive that I'm going to bring up on my screen here. So I've got our news feed here, and I'm going to search. I'm going to go to my news feed. I'm going to filter it for just exclusive headlines. These are highlighted in red by default. Yesterday we broke the story on ALF. Okay. We broke that they were doing a $2 million buyback. Okay. Look, this is the chart of ALF yesterday. Okay, huge move. They had a filing out this morning. Okay, ALF had a filing in 8K out this morning. If you were on Benzinga Pro yesterday at 8:26, you had basically a 23 hour head start on that filing. And it was just a great get by the news desk. And if you had the headline yesterday morning, you had the jump on an exclusive on ALF before it really started making a big move. Today, though, we've got a few more of these exclusive. OLB, let's start there. OLB Group says they're getting into the NFT game. Okay, remember when that was a thing for a minute, when every stock under the sun was going to do NFTs and then buy that automatically. So OLB is doing NFTs this morning. That's what they've told us. We've got to hear the headline was at 6:30 a.m. KULR announced a battery day for September 21st. Okay, so there's a KULR chart. And then the third exclusive we had this morning was on Next Gen Acquisition Corp, NGAC. They have entered into a strategic agreement with UniFirst to deliver 3 electric startup or electric step vans, excuse me. So OLB, KULR, NGAC, these are all the exclusives we had this morning in Benzinga Pro. I believe all trading higher on these headlines. Again, the headlines that you would see elsewhere, but see here first. That's the point. You would see these on Benzinga Pro before anywhere else, before Twitter. So check those out if you haven't already. This information is in Benzinga Pro, can be yours, pro.benzinga.com, free 2-week trial. We have exclusives every single day. I just want to highlight these few in particular because ALF was a big mover yesterday, and it was moving specifically on our headline. And then today we got a few more just this morning. So every day there are exclusives, and I don't say that enough. So I want to bring that to your attention here.
Hell yeah. Smash the like for that, guys. Definitely support us. As you can clearly see, we're trying to support you guys, get you that exclusive news right on Benzinga Pro.
Yeah, Corey D is asking how we got it from the company. It's called reporting, boots on the ground reporting, and that's exactly what we did. So drop us a like, but more importantly than that, just check out pro.benzinga.com. Okay, we're gonna have David Green on in a couple of minutes. And until that happens, I know there was a lot in chat that we missed. I wanted to just bring up my movers tool and hang out and look at what's moving. I mentioned the Playboy interview that we're going to have at 12:30 today. A couple of you mentioned that had been a big money maker for you, so congratulations. They're also in the NFT game, right? It's been quiet, right? It made that huge run up. It was like the only SPAC that wasn't going down for a while there. It's off its highs, consolidating, maybe forming this rounding bottom, maybe a little bit too soon to tell, perhaps. I know speaking from my own experience, I've fallen into the rounding bottom trap more than a few times in my day, thinking that was the bottom, and it wasn't. But it's consolidating, right? It made that huge run up in a very short amount of time. So I know they're in the NFT space. We're going to talk about that with the CEO at 12:30. So have that on your radar. Whenever a CEO of a public company is on doing an interview midday, whether it's Benzinga or whether it's another outlet, be careful because these CEOs can say something that can move their stock. So have Playboy on your radar early afternoon today. Back to the movers tool. Let's just take a look and see what's up, what's down this morning. Biggest gainers. Oh, there really is not a lot going on. You can see the biggest gainer on my feed is, I do have some filter. I filter out some low price, some low market cap stocks, some micro cap stocks, but the biggest gainer is up 6.8%. Woo, not much on the up filter. The down filter is a little bit more. You got a Torchlight. Oh my goodness, this thing was going and going and going, and now it's coming off just as fast as it came in. So another brutal morning after a tough day yesterday for Torchlight. The time to sell was probably yesterday. Or what do I know? Hodl. I don't know. Back to my movers tool. KROS, I'm seeing, is down 14%. Looks like they had a headline out. Some phase 2 data out yesterday after the close. Market does not like that. These are all like biotechs that I don't know about, and so therefore don't really interest me. God, it really is quiet today, guys. It really is quiet. Like I look for familiar names and I see like the Bitcoin stocks, Riot, Mara, see some EV names, right? XPong, we talked about those. But it is real quiet out there. What are you guys seeing? I'm just curious what you guys are watching. A few people have mentioned SWBI. I saw that. ATOS, I saw that as well. Do they have a headline or something? Because they're down 7%. Let's see here. Go to press release feed, SEC filing feed. I don't see anything on ATOS, but it is. I see it down, right? See it down 7%. Sorry, let me just catch up in chat and let me see. Yeah, Mike Wisdom is bringing up a good point in Alpha. It's a very, very low float stock, right? So when you do a buyback on an already low float stock, it just can create a squeezy environment, right? So certainly be mindful of that for sure. Let me just go back and make sure I didn't miss anything in chat because I was in my own little world there for a few minutes. I didn't ask Dennis if he traded Triple D. Shoot, forgot to ask if he traded that. How are the 3D stocks doing this morning? Coming off a great day yesterday. Yeah, holding up for now. 3D, SSYS, XONE, right? Those are the three big ones. All holding up so far this morning. That's a good sign. Definitely a good sign. Ba, 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 ba. Sky says they're in Torchlight, need to push upward. I mean, I don't really know what to say about Torchlight other than like if you're in it, you're in the hope trade, right? Because you're just hoping it goes higher. But do you have a price to lean on? I mean, not really. Let's look at a daily chart. You really don't have any like I don't know. I don't know what to like. We talk about risk control all the time on this show, and I know that's like boring, and that's not what the kids do these days. But that's how you trade repeatedly and successfully. Is you find a level, and if it breaches your level, you get out, right? And that's how you control your losses. You accept the loss, you take it, and you move on. You live to fight another day. You don't hold your losers hoping it'll come back to your price because it might not. So I'd be curious if you have a level you're eyeing. Whoever just said they were in Torchlight, Sky. I'm just if you do, I'd be curious to what that is. What else? GSK stock split? What? Really? Did that just come out? There's a bunch of headlines this morning. All right. Wow, look at GSK. Up 4%. A bunch of headlines, gave some guidance, and you're saying that there was a split? Oh, man. I don't want to go through that whole thing. Damn. All right. Nice morning for GSK. Good call out. Who called that out just now? Easy. Good call out. Thank you. Huh. Mike is asking a good question. What happens if all... So going back to ALF for a second, right? What happens if all the shares are bought and held? I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's possible because there's always going to be someone selling, like some market maker. And there's always going to be people that are putting their shares up for to be lent out, right? They're telling their broker, you can lend out my shares to short sellers, right? I don't know. It's a really good question. But that's exactly why these low float stocks can do really funky things, because people you can just dominate the float, right? But there will always be someone selling. I don't know. It's a really good question. What are you trading? You're trading shares that have been lended out, right? To shorts. I'm not sure if there's an options market on ALF, but there's also that to consider. What else? Oh, it's a spin-off, not a split. Thanks, Josh, on GSK. Thank you very much. CLOV, yeah, these are all moving here. We talked about that about an hour ago, maybe a little bit less. Kramer was pumping it a little bit on Twitter this morning. All those stocks, right? CLOV, look at Wish. I know there is some fresh data out yesterday, some short interest data. Wish, AMC, which we haven't talked about for a couple of days, had a good day yesterday. Let's zoom out on AMC. Bunching up. When will it break out of this little bunch up period is the question. GameStop, I don't know. GameStop is a little bit more. AMC is, to me, is a more fun chart to look at than GameStop right now. You can tell that it wants to, like, I think it wants to go higher. Just bunching. But CLOV, Wish, what are the other big ones? CLNE, right? Isn't that one? That's a big Discord / Reddit play. How's it doing this morning? Not much. It's quiet. Same thing. Bunching up. What else? Let me make sure there's nothing else I wanted to get announced as far as programming for the day. So we have David Green at 9:30. He's going to go until 11 o'clock. We've got SPACs Attack after David Green. We got a CEO with, I'm sorry, CEO. We got an interview with the CEO of Locust Walk Acquisition Company, ticker LWAC. That'll be at like 11:15 today. There's the chart, LWAC. I mentioned Power Hour at noon. We got the CEO of Playboy on at 12:30. Get Technical will be back today, we hope, after a day off. 1 o'clock, the Moon or Bust Show, 2 o'clock. First Trade, our show for new traders, where we have a couple of new traders here talk about what the first trade, or talking about their first trades that they're making. That's at 3 o'clock. Joel and I are back as always for the At the Close show at 3:30. We've got a Benzinga Pro demo with Mike Rao and Jonathan Mallard at 4 o'clock today. And I believe Aftermarket Therapy will be on at 7 o'clock. That'll be our show. Slate of programming for the night, for the rest of the day. How many likes are we at? Are we at 500 likes? And we're not. Let's get to 500 likes, guys. We're at 418 likes. Get me to 500, and then I'll hop off and cede the floor to David Green here in about 9 or so minutes. But let's just hang out until then and look at charts. Look at what's moving. Andre's dropping a few tickers in here. Okay, BlackBerry, which I was in it for a hot minute there. I was in BlackBerry back here. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, based on what happened last time, Andre. They have earnings tomorrow too. Speaking of earnings, guys, we didn't even get to Winnebago WGO. Look at what they said, right? Earnings this morning, EPS, earnings per share beat, sales, no surprise. They crushed it. The stock is up this morning. I mean, this is, I would think, I know last year this was like a stay-at-home play, kind of, but I would also think it's a reopening play because people have money, they want to go places, and they want to travel, right? So no real surprise to see Winnebago blow it away on their quarter. And then speaking of earnings here, it's a quiet day today. We do have KB home after the close. Tomorrow's a big day, though, guys. For earnings. Tomorrow we have, in the morning, Carnival. It's probably the big one. Rite Aid, Darden Restaurant. And then tomorrow after the close, BlackBerry, FedEx, Nike. Tomorrow afternoon. So sort of the last, call it big earnings day for the couple of weeks. And then, guys, believe it or not, we're not too far away from the next earnings season. JP Morgan report earnings. JP Morgan and the rest of the banks report earnings the second week of July. So we're only 3 weeks away from the next earnings season. Believe it or not. CLOV, yeah, I mean, I saw there some short interest data on CLOV yesterday. It looks great. Pre-market, obviously, right? Is there a headline, or is there just? I just saw some updated short interest numbers. Yeah, we got the Kramer tweet. Here, let's find out. Was CLOV included in the updated FTSE list for the Russell rebalance? Because they weren't in the original list. Maybe they were included in the because what happens is the first Friday of June, FTSE Russell puts out a list. Basically, these are the stocks that we're going to add, and these are the stocks that we're going to delete from the Russell 1000 and 2000 indexes. And then that's on the first, that was on the 4th. And then every Friday after that, the 11th and the 18th, they update that list based on changes for over the week. So CLOV was not on the original list, which I have open, but it's possible that they were updated. And my man Chris Kachi sent me an update. There we go. Chris is the man. CLOV will be deleted from the Russell 3000 due to failing of voter rights. Here's a list of stocks that have been. This is as of June 10th. Thanks, Chris. CLOV. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can actually see. Rather than me read the whole thing to you, I can just show you my screen. Boom. This is a PR from FTSE Russell. Okay. CLOV, CSSE, DFH, DMS, ESGC, FI. These are all updates, right? Some are being added, some are being removed. Laser being deleted. Oscar being deleted. UWMC being added. RVLV being added. PLM being added. So what being deleted means in this case, it just means that there's going to be some forced selling, right? So some people, index manager, people who manage money that track these indexes specifically, right, that track the Russell 3000, they're going to have to sell. Everyone knows this. It's not a secret, right? The market knows there's going to be forced selling, okay? So Kramer's point was that the stock could rip into this because the market knows that there's going to be forced selling. That can happen. That can totally happen. You see it ripping today a little bit. And there's the whole options chain, which I'm sure is crazy as always. Yeah, I mean, it's looking squeezy. It's looking squeezy, no doubt. The last couple of days, at least. I mean, yesterday, that's not a candle you want to see. Yesterday, right, top out the open. But all right after the open, I should say, in the morning. Look, it's trending on Wall Street Bets. What else is new, right? Same thing every day. Let's go back to our movers tool, Benzinga Pro. Our top gainers of the morning, at least on my movers tool. Again, I do filter out small cap and micro cap stocks. I'm seeing Target Hospitality, TH, Loop Industries, LOOP, Insidious Pharmaceuticals, CTXR. Top losers, OSW, ABCL, and ATOS are my top losers this morning. I'm curious, two-tone boxing club Beechwood, if you can elaborate on that comment a little bit. Anyway, are we at 500 likes? I'm gonna hop off. Oh, come on, guys, get me to 500. Get me to 500 so I can get David Green on this stream and you can trade with him into the open and after the open for the first hour and a half of the day. The guy does great stuff trading around moving averages. He's got very specific levels that work for him. His trading, honestly, is really simple. It's a really simple strategy. And if you like that and you want to learn more, you should check out his room or his course, which he talks about at length during the course of the show. It's Wall Street Global Trading Academy.com. But the AO Life says Tesla first. We talked about Tesla though, like an hour ago. AO Life, rewind the show. Okay, we talked about Tesla. Yeah, I don't. There was a note from was it Morgan Stanley? Is that who it was? It was yesterday. They got some love from Morgan. Very nice. I mean, it looks. Let's zoom out on Tesla here. It's like the rest of growth, right? It feels like it's bottomed for the moment. It feels like it's bottomed. Whether you're looking at Tesla, ARK-K, whatever, all these growth ones we talked about, right? Today, Teladoc, whatever, feels like it's putting a bottom. And here's what you can do. You can buy the damn thing and lean on a level, lean on a recent low, right? So it's at 632 right now, right? Is that, wait, yeah, okay. So lean on, what was that? Lean on like what's 570 something. I mean that's $60. It's a long ways away. You can lean on that. You can lean on this level. You can lean on 593, right? It looks like it's forming a base. This is not a bad looking chart for me. No doubt. Someone asked about ratings. I didn't even check ratings today. Let's go into the calendar in Pro. I didn't really see anything too much. No. URI upgraded Citigroup. Oh, Target Hospitality. There you go. TH. That's why it's up today. Upgrade from Oppenheimer to outperform. Downgrades. SDC. Oh, SDC. Can this one ever? And Plug Power had earnings yesterday, but SDC. Can this one stop going down? No. Every pop is a selling opportunity in SDC. Every single one. That's how it goes with that sometimes. All right, we're at 500 likes. Thank you. That means I can leave. You guys don't want to hear me anymore. You want to hear about David Green. You want to watch him trade. I don't blame you. David Green is going to live trade in the open right now. This stream will redirect to that. You don't have to do anything. Please remember, everyone, that all the information from our show is meant to be used for informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Thank you so much to our guest today, Joel Kulina. Thanks to all of you in our chat, both on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Benzinga.com, and Benzinga Pro. Again, pro.benzinga.com, everyone. Free 2-week trial. Check it out right now. Any questions about Benzinga Pro, onboarding at benzinga.com. Any feedback for us, email me, shows@benzinga.com. I do check that email and respond. There we go. Everyone, good luck today. Good luck at the open. I will talk to you later on in the day. David Green is going to be live right now.